Good morning. It's bright and early, and we're starting off with the parrot tank today. Because we got our interesting little baby friends down here, and they're still here. Lights haven't been on very long, and Mom and Dad have them tucked up under this little bridge for the night. And I just dropped some fry food down there. Looks like they're all going for it. There's some adult food too. Now these babies are several days old, so they've already survived a good period of time before I even noticed them. They're quite large. They're not like newly hatched. The little egg soaks were gone in the video I saw yesterday, which means they're probably more than 3 days old. And there's still a big, huge mass of them. The other fish are not trying to eat them. Now here's the thing. Under here, there's another female behaving like she's guarding something. She's up in the middle of this. This is hollow inside. She's up in there. She's coming down to eat, and then she runs back in like she's guarding something. So I might have more than one pair. That might be Dad. I haven't seen a male though coming, but she, since I noticed these guys over here, she has been zooming in and out and sort of protecting this bottom area. And she'll zoom out for food and zoom right back in. I'll see if she does it again. What I don't see is a male zooming in and out of there either, but there is one hanging around the outside. Oh, here's a male that's pushing people off, but it might be just for food. But she does not leave, which tells me see, she's still in there. So we probably have another batch of eggs up in there, or babies already. She's definitely coming down to eat and then running back up. So I believe that might be her male, because they got this male hanging out around this opening. And she doesn't try to boss him off at all. So, when I brought them home, they were small enough to be eaten by the red parrotfish, and the red parrotfish wouldn't eat them. Red parrotfish were huge beside them, and they wouldn't damage them or hurt them or anything. So, parrotfish might have species recognition, might recognize their own babies, and they won't eat them. I don't know. But it was suggested I should remove all the other fish in fear of them, going after and picking off the babies. But these babies are probably 4 days old, and that's a lot of time to get picked off already. And I've got over 100 of them still, probably in that range anyway. I don't know, 50 to 100. Can't even really count them all right now. There's a lot there. A lot of them are hiding under the arch. So Mom and Dad pretty much keep them where they want them. See, she's just spitting them out there now. She's catching them from back here to bring them forward to eat. And they throw them where they want them. And they keep a close eye on them. They're very good parents. Last night they had them back there in the light. Yesterday. Yeah, see, she'll run out. She'll chase everyone off. She'll see a straggler, she'll pick them up, bring them back. Very good parenting. Instinctive parenting. And you can see the other fish are not at all saying, oh, there's food over there, and trying to sneak in and pick them off. It's just not happening. So I'll keep my eye on it, but I'd rather not. I know I should separate them out, but it's not like I can catch the parents and the babies, because once they go in there with a net, I won't know who's who, and they're going to mix up. And then I don't want to mix them up or scare them, because then the babies aren't being protected. I could try and pluck out these guys, but then that's a female that's protecting eggs, and who's her male? I don't know. So I'm just going to leave them be. I'm going to leave them be and see what happens. When I was a kid, I used to, have a big cichlid tank, African cichlid tank, and, sometimes two of the fish would pair off and sort of defend a corner of the tank. The rest of them would still be in there, and the fish would grow up just fine. So I'm sure I lost a few, but I would end up with a ton of babies anyway, and the parents would just do a good job protecting them. That's what's happening here. I'll roll with it. We'll see what happens, and if it turns into a problem, then I'm just gonna try and grab the pair out, and I'll put them in a 20-gallon. I'll let them try again. But I kind of like what I see here, and I'm just gonna keep letting them do it. Also, for clarity, these fish were not mixed with convicts. They're mixed with Honduran red tips. I hear people dismiss them as, oh, they're just convicts. But then the same people have Honduran red tips, and definitely don't talk about their Honduran red tips as if they're convicts. So, you know what I'm saying? And if Honduran red tips breed like convicts, well, they did have a common ancestor about 250,000 years ago. But I've watched the breeding behavior of both fish. Nothing the same. These fish are far better parents. They're not aggressive. They just parent. They don't kill everything in the tank like a convict. They'll just get away from my babies. They hide their babies more. They're not really the same fish. 250,000 years is a long way to evolve, and there was probably also some hybridization along the way, just like there is here. This is hybridization. So they're not convicts. They never will be convicts, and that's all there is to it. Humans are closer in evolution to Neanderthals than convicts are to red tips. Okay, it's called a Honduran red tip. It's not a convict. Interestingly enough, I have a pair of these. They're older than the polar parrots, and they haven't bred yet. Although that male's showing some real good red now in his red-tipped tail. No convicts have red in their tail. Not that I've seen. It's actually pretty stale, ugly-looking fish. These things are beautiful. So, and those red tips are mixed with one of these blood parrots. Okay, so it's the Honduran red tip with a blood parrot just like this, and the hybridized version of those two fish is the polar blue parrot. You can see there I got a blacktail version. There's a couple of blacktail versions in here. But you can see the red tail showing up sometimes in the male here. This one, it's a little bit of red in this tail. I don't know if you can see it, but they do show the red in their tails. These fish are actually, see, look at, he's a black one. That's a color morph. I'm hoping to see more of those. They're not as common. And he should be showing good color because he's breeding. They should be showing us red in the tail of these males, but I think they've bred prematurely, which is fine. These fish are supposed to get up to 4 inch right now, and they're all like, the females are like 1.5 inches, and the males are like 2.5 inches. at this point. And I really didn't think I would see them be big enough till spring, but here we are, perfect parenting skills, and half the size they should be, producing babies. And not just a few, quite a few. So maybe this is their adult size. I don't know. We'll find out in time. But Craig's catfish cage says well looked after fish can breed early like this. So that may be the case. That may be the case. So yes, call them convicts all you wish, but continue loving your Honduran red tips. I'm sure you won't be calling the Honduran red tips convicts when they start having babies, right? Or maybe you will. Maybe you'll say, oh, these are just fancy convicts, and I just made convict babies. But it's easy to sell a Honduran red tip off to a batch off to a pet shop. It's impossible to get anyone to take convicts. And when it comes to polar blues, everybody loves them. They sell like hotcakes. I will have no trouble offloading them. It's like the latest fad for buy a fish for your kid. Pick up a polar blue. They're hardy. They're just good kid fish. And they're good educational fish too. Because as you can see, it doesn't take much. If you look after them right, they breed pretty easy. So that's our little video today on the polar blue parrot. Thanks for watching.